Welcome to the Inside Silverstone podcast, a business-focused podcast covering all things tech, engineering and innovation. Hosted by me, Chris Broome, a huge tech, motorsport and gaming fan, and also the owner of Longhurst, a firm of lifestyle financial planners and independent financial advisors located in Silverstone, Northamptonshire. This is a series of unscripted and unpolished conversations with leading business owners, thought leaders and high-tech talent where we discuss their experiences within the Silverstone business and motorsport region. We will also be asking them to share their knowledge, insight and their thoughts on the future just for you. If you're looking to learn more about the Silverstone high growth region and commercially connect with like-minded peers, you've definitely come to the right place. Welcome to Inside Silverstone.
Welcome to the next edition of Inside Silverstone. My name's Chris Broome and I am your host. Today I am delighted to finally welcome and get onto the show Niall Johanson from Charpak Limited. Neil, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, no, I've been waiting to get you on because I met you probably, must have been, well, definitely over 6 months ago, maybe 9 months ago, 12 months ago at an STC event in Toaster, of all places, which is my hometown. And it's been a while since we've been able to actually get you physically on. So we're recording a COVID catch-up series. So it's sort of short and punchy, 10, 15-minute interviews with old friends and new friends, really just talking through the business, what you guys do, how you've been surviving during COVID and supporting clients. And then we sort of close off with a couple of fun questions, if that's okay. So first thing, actually, before we went on air, you were just reminiscing about your background and past in F1 and the fact that you know and are acquaintances with a number of people involved with Silverstone Park and Silverstone Technology Cluster from many, many years ago. So talk to us just very briefly about your sort of F1 experience.
Yes, of course. Well, I've worked in motorsport most of my life, and I've known people on the STC committee like Kieran Salter for good, it must be 25 years now. Basically, for many, many years, I did fluid transfer systems, and mainly F1 hydraulics. I was the F1 plumber, if you like. And, I lived in France for quite a while, and also the most recent thing I've done is I was responsible for preparing the Renault V8 F1 engine block for a few years, basically sending it back to Renault F1, making sure it worked. And that was in the years when Renault used to actually win world championships, so I'm very pleased to say. Yeah. But more recently, I've moved into general automotive and been able to take my brand of high-performance engineering and the fast-moving way that we do things in motorsport into more general automotive and use a bit of creativity in that. It's a fascinating thing to do. Absolutely.
And so now you work for Charpak Limited. So Charpak Limited UK, Charpak Limited, sorry. What do you guys do? So what's the sort of premise of the business?
We've been established nearly 40 years. We're a thermoformer. We thermoform plastic sheet. And that's a pretty industrialized process, pretty normal sort of process. We do it a little bit differently. Everything that we have is in-house, so we fully design in-house with 3D design capability. All our machine tools are made in-house, all our tooling, everything like that, it's all done in-house. And so we run a little bit like a professional motorsport team, but we actually apply the technology and the creativity to packing your slices of cheesecake in Waitrose.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the website, so I see that it's packaging for a sustainable future, so food, automotive, alcohol and gifting, convenience, chocolate, and fish and shellfish.
Yes, that's absolutely right. But there is a technology transfer into high-performance engineering and specialist areas within the automotive industry, and especially for lithium-ion battery production and things like that. We use recycled plastic, which in turn is fully recyclable. And this is the first thing. Sustainability is really important to us. The material we use is recycled PET, and it has less than 1/3 the carbon footprint of just making cardboard.
Excellent.
So it's very, very green. Secondly, our whole facility is food safe. So that means everything we produce is guaranteed clean and contamination free. And that's to BRC standards. And that's an EU recognized standard of manufacturing materials like ours and products like ours. So, and that makes us very relevant to battery production, because battery production, the components cannot be touched by a human hand because human oils can contaminate the components.
Yeah.
And that's why you will read in the papers from time to time that cars are going up in flames because the lithium-ion batteries are failing because they've got contamination inside. We know how to avoid that in the production of the components. And the third thing is accuracy. Because we do everything in-house and we've perfected this, we can make our trays so they can be indexed from robots. This means that the robot knows where the tray is without having to actually put a camera on it. And so when you integrate the tray robotically, you also integrate the cavities within the tray robotically. So if you can make the cavities correctly, and that is a challenge, you can make it so that they can be robotically filled, because again, the robot knows exactly where the cavities are. And so long as you design it so the parts don't bounce back out again, which is not easy. You can then manipulate those parts. You could put a bolt in them, or you could put a bead of adhesive in them. That tray then goes on to the end of the line and it becomes the packaging. It literally gets put robotically into a crate, sealed over the top, and that can go off to any factory anywhere in the world, guaranteed clean. So it's a fully integrated process where you can calculate exactly how many components you're going to produce per hour, and you can calculate exactly the quality control. And you can only do that by using our type of trays. And that's the key to what we're doing in high performance engineering. So it is just simply sustainability, cleanliness, and accuracy. And no one does it like we do.
Presumably that technology increases efficiency, reduces cost for customers that engage with you.
Absolutely. It also removes reject rates. It means that everything goes through absolutely perfectly, totally predictable.
Very good, very good. And I've seen on the website, it's a very nice website, by the way, that you guys have obviously been involved in. I say obviously, but a lot of the STC firms have been. You've been involved in PPE production or production of visors, is that right?
Yep. Yeah, we were approached at the beginning of the pandemic by a major NHS trust. They were having problems with the visors they were receiving because their staff were having to wear them for 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
They were uncomfortable. So we designed a very simple but more comfortable visor made out of recycled plastic. And then they came to us and said that the actual surgical masks they were wearing were hurting their ears because they were looping over the ears. So we then augmented that with a clip as well. So the clip just sits behind the head and clips the surgical mask. We did actually have a funny thing. Whilst we were doing all this, we also had a major supermarket chain come to us, possibly the biggest in the country, and said, "We've got a huge problem with chickens." Everyone panic bought chicken right at the beginning of the pandemic and filled their freezers with it. Yep. So the supermarkets ran out of chicken, but then you can't stop chickens being produced. No. You can't stop them growing. And this supermarket said, look, if we can't package these and put them into cold storage, we're going to have to literally slaughter over 1 million chickens and just put them into landfill. So we had to suddenly work night and day on and getting our whole tooling shop and all our machines producing chicken packaging, just to make sure that chicken could stay in the shops.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Yeah, either chicken or loo rolls.
Well, that's right. It was
absolutely crazy. And if we get a second wave, and we're recording this in August, and so if we get a second wave in a couple of months' time, I wonder what will be on the top of the shopping list then. So
we will definitely have a call. And this is because other thermoformers are just contract thermoformers. They literally, someone will come to them with a design and a set of tooling and say, here, make that bit for me. Yeah. Where we do it is we design everything. So that major supermarket chain knew that it could come to us and they would be receiving product within 48 hours. because we can react that quickly. No one else can do that.
Very good. Any other sort of COVID-related, pandemic-related sort of stories? How's Charpak been sort of coping throughout the summer?
We've been okay, actually. We haven't, I mean, obviously we're not setting the world on fire, no one is at the moment, no. But we're wiping our faces financially. We're doing okay. I mean, the managing director can't afford a new speedboat this year, I'm afraid, but we're doing okay.
First world problems, as we call it on our website, and so fine. And you guys joined the Silverstone Technology Cluster, I think, last year, if I'm right. And so what was the motivation behind joining the STC?
Well, because basically we've got a message in high performance engineering, and because of my background in motorsport, I've known some of the people at the top of the STC for years. I've actually got a set of photographs of my father crashing his 1955 Triumph TR2 at Silverstone in the 1950s in the 6-hour relay race.
Very good.
Oh, yeah, no, I go back a long way with Silverstone. And the message from the STC of taking clever technology out throughout the country and beyond is really important to me personally, and to Charpak. We've got a special message that we need to take out to special companies, and all these companies are STC members.
Very good, very good. And clearly, especially if you're going to get involved with battery packs, etc. You've got the likes of Delta Motorsport, who were on the podcast a couple of episodes ago, Simon Dowson, excuse me, plus many others. So there's lots of opportunity there.
Oh, I mean, Delta Motorsport are absolute world leaders. You know, they people like Nick Carpenter, they are absolutely brilliant. What they're doing in batteries is just amazing.
Fantastic. And personally, during COVID, how have you been? As I said, last time I saw you, you didn't have a beard, so now you've got a fantastic beard.
Yes, I've been, well, I'm going to be retiring in a few years' time. I'm in my 60s now, so I've just taken the opportunity to practice for retirement. And actually, you know, it's been great. I've been loving the weather. I've been doing the garden. I've been growing my beard. I have actually got a little place in France that I've been, is a tiny little cottage that, of course, I have to engineer properly. And I've got a couple of guys out there who I'm bothering with all the restoration, and so hopefully once COVID is over, we'll be able to get out there as well. So I've been keeping myself busy in just a nice, pleasant way out in the sunshine.
Very good. And so sort of second from last question is, and I think you may have answered it, is, you know, what are you looking forward to doing the most once COVID's out of the way? So it's 2021. There's a vaccination. We've gone back to the new normal. You know, what's one of the first things you're going to do?
Oh, I can't wait to get out and start seeing people properly again. You know, I mean, my whole life has been going to clever companies and helping them and looking at what they've got and working with them and making sure that they can do special things. And, you know, there's a limit to what you can do in these Zoom and Teams meetings.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to actually getting out there and rolling my sleeves up and getting stuck into bits of clever machinery with clever engineers.
Very good, very good. Very last question. And Neil, thank you very much for coming on the show and giving us your time today. But very last question. It's a bit of a silly question. I sort of made it up at the first COVID catch-up interview I did a couple of weeks ago. So it's a bit of a weird one. I'm going to give it a drum roll. Neil, what is the king of crisps?
The king of crisps. Oh, that's got to be Walker's Ridged Crisps. Possibly Texas barbecue, maybe chili and sour cream.
Very good. Very good.
To eat whole large packs of them.
Very good. Yes, so we had Simon Dowson was, oh my dog's literally run out and started barking. So we had Simon Dowson loving a deep ridge steak flavoured crisp. So there's some absolute synergy there. That must be an F1 battery related synergy.
It must be. I'm very much hoping that my colleague Amanda hasn't actually seen that, because she's extremely healthy eater, and she's always telling me off for eating the wrong stuff.
Well, I think the reason I'm asking this actually is that there's people who I'm asking, I think, yeah, they're not really going to be a big crisp fan, and they secretly are. So anyway, good fun. Niall, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thanks for talking about Charpak Limited and what you guys are doing. We're going to leave some links in the show notes, so if people want to get in contact with you and find the company website and look at the projects that you're working on, they can do so. And once this COVID nonsense is over and we're all allowed to socialise again, I'll be getting everybody that's been on the show together for a sort of a beer and some crisps and some networking, and so it'll be really, really good to see you again.
That would be great. Thank you so much, Chris. It's great to catch up. Great to see you again. Take care of yourself and enjoy the sunshine.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Niall.
The Inside Silverstone podcast is produced by the team at Longhurst for the benefit of those with a passion for all things tech, engineering and innovation. For more information, please visit longhurst.co.uk/Inside Silverstone, whilst also remembering to give us a 5 out of 5 star rating on iTunes. Please note that neither Chris Broome or Longhurst work for Silverstone Park, Silverstone Circuit or Silverstone Technology Cluster.